Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome to Wildcast Studios for another episode of the Wildcast podcast round 2 edition. Your unofficial voice of all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions, the premier destination for all KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Maytag appliances in Moncton. Right now, they got the Gen Air Luxury Redefined event. Save 15% when you purchase any 2 or 3. Save 20% when you purchase 4 or more Gen Air products. Now till April 30th. For those and other deals, go to appliancesolutions.ca. As always, fan listeners, I'm your host, Adam Lund, and I'm joined by your favorite co-hoster, Mr. YQM, Mr. Starbucks, Mr.
Britta's new one.
Mr. Jeremy Boucher. Doing this on a Sunday after the Masters. Your guy didn't win, but how are you doing?
Good. Yeah, right. Sunday. I think we're both kind of a little off our game here tonight, but we'll try to get through this one. And yeah, we just got out of game 2, finished up the Masters. Almost saw a McIlroy-sized choke job, but we're good that he powered through that. And I don't know, was Hideki Matsui? No, that's
Matsuyama.
Matsuyama. Right?
Yeah.
These don't even think he was in the top 20. So
no,
I'm not very good at my golf predictions.
Especially when I spring them on you. You didn't even have any time to research it.
No, honestly, I don't watch much golf. I could probably only name you 5 golfers right now because I don't watch it very much. Like I know obviously Rory McIlroy and Bryson DeChambeau and Hideki Matsuyama, but
other than that, like Justin Rose, I heard the name but didn't know he was still golfing.
Yeah. Corey Connors, obviously I knew the name, being Canadian, but that's it.
And he was in contention. Corey Connors was in contention all week at the Masters, but he got stuck playing with Patrick Reed, and I think your playing partner sometimes has something to do with it. And he's 3 shots back of Rory. Spoiler alert if you're waiting until Tuesday to watch this. What are you doing? But he had to play with Patrick Reed, who is just not a good person, and he's a cheater on the golf course. So he kind of fell out. But, yeah, no, I was like, Cody Rhodes finished the story in April of last year at WrestleMania. I was like, please just hit the Grand Slam. Like, I'm tired of the Masters every year talking about Rory's Grand Slam, and especially going into the final Sunday, playing against Bryson, and who beat him in the U.S. Open. Yeah. And then to miss that putt on 18, I was just like, oh, please, I don't want to go through another one. Like, honestly, I'm like, he might retire if he doesn't win. Mm-hmm. Like, if he loses again with a 2-shot lead and up to a 4-shot lead, I think, before we started our post-game interviews, like, good Lord.
Yeah. But no, we had a good time watching that. Had it on the game and had some golf with Boston Bruins GM Don Sweeney.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. That was we had some good company up in the booth over the weekend. So it was
3 GMs magically in the top 10. Yeah. So
Mr. Dubas, Mr. Briere, Mr. Sweeney, they were all there Friday night, and then only Mr. Sweeney on Sunday.
Yeah, it was good that golf was the icebreaker for us because we're up there and we deserve to be up there, but you're still kind of nervous talking to GMs because they're there to do a job and like a high paying job. And so there was a couple times when Johansson would make a play, I was like, at 33, because he's there to watch him too, right? A little bit, but
a couple times you hear Johansson do something and you hear Don Sweeney, woo!
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. No, I didn't hear that. You were sitting more closer to him. That's awesome. Bit of a scare on Friday for you. How's Megan doing? I wouldn't say a scare, but
I thought you were talking about the hockey game.
No, we'll get to that in a little bit. But how's Megan?
It's doing good.
Yeah.
Some cramping. So there's always. She's in this Facebook group where it's like moms to be, June 2025.
Yeah.
There was some woman that was, I can't remember exactly how far along she was, but she had some cramping. So she went to the hospital and she turned out being like 6-7 years dilated. So
it's just crazy.
Which is, and Megan's just like, oh, it could be me. But so called labor and delivery and they just said take Tylenol, drink lots of water, and she was fine the next day. So we're chugging along.
How's the nursery coming?
It's we're not close.
Oh,
No, we've got some ideas,
Yeah.
but we're procrastinators, so we'll probably wait till the last minute. But then waiting till the last minute, it'll be too late. So we got to really buckle down here and find some time to put things together. Put our ideas on paper and figure out what the heck we're going to do.
Especially if you want to wait till the last minute and then all of a sudden he decides to show up a bit early and you're like, well, we got 3 days for someone else to put that thing together because we're in the hospital. But
we've got some painting ideas to do, and we got like what's it called, like a extension rod for the closet, because the nursery closet had a closet but didn't have the rod.
Oh, okay.
So we bought one of those on Amazon and put it up over the weekend. And other than that, there was nothing.
There's a crib in there and that's it.
Yeah, the crib's in there. I think it's more like our junk room right now, which is very sad to say. So that just tells you how much more time we've got on it. But there's going to be a time where I think we just put together, go to the hardware store, buy a thing of paint, and just get it ready.
Yeah, and you can put Avery to work too, right? Yeah.
Well, she's got ideas too. But at the same time, we didn't exactly have a nursery for her, so she's going to be jealous. But
you didn't have a nursery for her?
No, because we were at the condo, right? And we knew we weren't going to be there long, so we didn't want to go and paint a room.
Right? Yeah.
So we knew we wanted to be out of there eventually, so we didn't want one bedroom to be white, the other one to be pink, because it's kind of a turn off when they go to sell it. And so we just kind of left everything the way it was, but we still kind of made it girly-ish, but not to the point where it was. There was not very much pink on the walls. There was no pink on the walls, to be honest. It was, we just, she's eventually going to have like a nice teenage girl room makeover. So that'll be her nursery.
And sometimes that's much better because she gets input on it and gets to decide what she wants. But we did take a tour of the new labor and delivery unit and the NICU unit for you. So I did my best to reserve a room for you. You're going to be, if they get it open before he arrives, you are going to be quite lucky.
I hope so. I really will.
And if they get it open and they're too full, sorry. Apparently the old stuff is the overflow. But yeah, we got a whole delivery, like a whole new setup, whole new NICU, whole new labor and delivery, doctor's offices in there. Like, it's going to be fantastic for this city. We got a tour of the whole thing, like I said, and we went into one of the rooms that is, it's a full room designated for babies that don't come home. You have full privacy if you know that your baby's not going to come home, and I'm not going to get into more of that. But as we walked in, Layla's comfort box was displayed out with the teddy bear and the books and all that. And the people who run the hospital were doing the tour, and it sounds weird to say, but I got excited. I was like, oh, your comfort box, it's here. That's not generally a good thing. But yeah, she got in here and we got emotional because the day we did it was Riker's due date.
Right.
So we got to tour the new facility, saw her comfort box. We broke down, and the lady doing the tour was like, oh, you're that Layla. Because they know who she is. Just some of them don't know what she looks like, kind of thing. And so it was a very emotional to be there with our rainbow baby on his due date, seeing her comfort box for families who have to leave the hospital without their baby. But sadly, the Ronald McDonald House, you'll have to walk all the way back to the old school. It didn't I didn't get into the new stuff. And it's individual rooms, so you and Eric will not be sharing a room.
That's unfortunate.
I laughed. Like, when we were driving away, I was like, it'd be hilarious if you guys are both kind of early and you and Eric have to end up sharing a room. So it's the four of you just going through this all together.
That would actually be amazing.
Yeah.
Obviously, our little one would have to be probably a week early in order to match up with Eric.
Which, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, that's full term.
Yeah.
But no, hopefully it's not. Hopefully there's still a bed available for us at that time.
Yeah.
And if not, well, we know there was a baby room thanks to YQM. So that's that's how you gotta look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
And like I gave you the only piece of advice, zippers. Buy zipper onesies.
Zippers.
None of these, like, you know, dads do it and they make buttons that are like this small. Like at 3 a.m. when you're kind of awake and trying to put a button together like this. Come on. Yeah, Kiva got her first pet scratched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She was down in her and this is the hot dad part of the podcast. We are going to get to hockey here in one last story. She was in her little bassinet and Teddy was walking. Oh my God. Tucker was walking around and he was tight roping walking because he's like, well, this is my bassinet. This is my thing. And it was in the playpen area. So he was not trying to hurt her or anything, but he was tightrope walking because he's like, oh, she's sleeping. Okay. And he fell. And so his legs went down and his claws were out because he fell and he got a little bit of a scratch. Oh, it actually hurt Dad more than it hurt her. It actually hurt me more than it hurt her. Yeah, so I went and spent like $90 on new clothes for her. For getting through that. So, oh, yeah. But she's okay. She survived.
All good.
And my family gets to meet her this Thursday. So, pumped for that. Don't forget, as always, you can follow us on the social medias, Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast as well here on the YouTube. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. Lets us know you like what we are doing and click the little bell so you don't miss any of the post games in the playoffs and any live episodes we may or may not have, just like we did last Thursday. Quick question for you, Mr. Boucher. You started this last week, so we're going to continue it. You were going to get blind ranked.
Oh, boys. Okay.
You were going to get blind ranked Swifty style.
Ooh, okay.
You're going to put these songs in order. I had Layla help me.
Okay.
Because I saw a couple on TikTok, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the person's. I don't know if that's the most popular song. So she put these together for me. So,
okay.
Cruel Summer.
How many is it?
10.
There's 10?
Yeah. Cruel Summer. I got it ordered here for you.
Cruel Summer. Definitely a good song. Not a hit. I mean, it's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play it safe here and go 6.
Okay. All right. Cardigan.
Again, not necessarily a hit, but definitely underrated. I'll go 5.
Bad Blood.
Oh, Bad Blood's a good one. This is up here. It's definitely ahead of the other two. I'll go 4.
22.
Oh, that's definitely 2 for sure. Yeah.
Fortnite.
That can go the back half. 10.
Really?
I'll probably regret that one, but yeah.
Let's go Antihero.
Where am I at here?
You have 1, 3, 7, 8, 9.
Definitely this one. Antihero. See, I'm more of an older music fan.
Yeah.
7. Oof.
Is that the one that hides me? I'm the problem. Huh? I'm the problem. It's me. Is that the one?
I can't think of it.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite lyric to sing around Layla. Shake It Off.
Ooh,
You got 1, 3, 8, and 9.
that's a 3 for sure.
Love Story.
Oh, it's 1. Definitely 1.
What else do I got here? Cruel Summer, Cardigan, Fortnite, Lover.
Oh, Lover. I love Lover. I hate this list.
I'm guessing Swiftberg is going to hate this list too, potentially.
Yeah, this is not going to be good. I gotta go 8. Hey, this one sucks. This sucks. Yeah, 8. I only have 8 and 9 left, right?
Yeah, and Fearless.
Oh, that's a terrible list. That's not good at all.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So the Fearless goes in 9.
That's not a good list at all. You didn't. I mean, I'm glad you didn't have Enchanted on there because Enchanted's like my favorite of all time.
Yeah. So Layla's like, that's the 10, because I said I need like Shake It Off, 22, and one other song. Love Story. I needed that. I didn't know the rest of them. She's like, those are the most popular ones. I took off Evermore, which was one of her favorites, but she left Cardigan on because she was like, I don't know if I want my favorites, but I went with the most popular. So
yeah, Enchanted's up there as Enchanted's probably my favorite Taylor Swift song. That and I hate because Lover is right up there too. But you didn't get Mean on there, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
So
Love Story, 22, Shake It Off, Bad Blood, Cardigan, Summer, Antihero, Lover, Fearless, Fortnite.
Yeah, I probably should have put Cardigan in the back half.
But now you get to do this to me next week.
That's right. And You Belong With Me wasn't on there either.
That's her list. Yeah.
Jeez. She needs to research.
You can let her know when we leave.
News and notes from around the Q.
I'll get you something next week.
Yeah.
Top 10 Nickelback songs or something. Blind
Top
ranking
10 BSB.
Yeah. Blind ranked Nickelback songs.
Oh, boy. Stay tuned, everyone. Stay tuned. All right. News and notes from around the Q presented by Integrity Lawn Care. It's finally maybe getting to that time. Check them out on Instagram or give them a call, 506-866-8218, or email them at integritylawnCare@hotmail.com. We had a Golden Puck Award this week, or nominees. The Marcel Robert Trophy. Preston Lounsbury of the Moncton Wildcats was nominated for Student Athlete of the Year.
Nerd.
We also had the QMJHL Showcase in Massachusetts over the weekend. We're already seeing the shift. Like the OHL draft on Friday again. Wouldn't you just love your team to have an OHL draft in the middle of the playoffs?
I was so fired up watching that Friday night of the game.
Could you imagine? I feel bad for those GMs. I think there was like 86 drafted in the OHL draft, like through the whole thing, something like that, which is a massive shift. And I think this is going to affect the OHL more, but as not a lot of Americans have come through this, but how much do you actually think this is going to affect the Q, especially now the NHL and the USHL have struck this massive deal to kind of be this on par with the CHL?
You know what? First of all, the showcase I think was a great idea. They had one a few years ago, I think. Obviously, not to this extent because nobody really came from it. But this event seemed to be, pretty highly attended. We saw, Halifax GM was there, Jim Holton was there. Jude Heron of the Charlottetown Islanders was a guest speaker. So it seemed to have, garnered a lot of attention. And I think we'll probably see, some of these players most definitely picked in the Q draft. So I like this. It helps with, the exposure. So it wasn't just a game either. There was testing and everything like that. So I like this a lot.
Yeah. Frank Cervelli on the 12th. First player first initiatives and funding reserves with the USHL, NHL, and USA Hockey that will finally put USHL on more of a level ice surface with Canadian Major Junior, as we saw a whole ton of them come up here. And then we saw probably the biggest name go NCAA just to like 3 hours ago on Sunday in Henry Muse, which was reported. And again, I think somebody else is reported to potentially go to Michigan. I know that McKenna is reported to go to Michigan, which is why the CHL may have made a massive mistake in not giving Medicine Hat the Memorial Cup next year to keep him in. Now, it might not have kept him in the league, but at least you had a chance to give him one more year in the league in your showcase tournament. But it's going to be such a change. Like, do you see a lot of Americans getting drafted in the first round
of the Q draft?
In the Q draft? Like, I don't know if you've started to put your list together, but do you have many Americans on it?
I have a list. There's no Americans on my list, but there's four Americans who were named to the U.S. Development Program. Carter Meyer, Finnegan Sears, Sam Pandolfo.
I know that name.
Yeah, and Jake Boganicki. So Carter Meyer, if you remember the Atlanta Thrashers, Freddie Meyer.
Yep.
So that's
And Pandolfo played his son, or his dad played for the Devils, I believe.
Yeah. So there's obviously a lot of, there's some good father-son, combinations again. But those are probably four guys that if you were going to take a swing in the first round, that's who you're going for. Those are high-end guys. I think Carter Myers would be right up there with Alexei Joseph and James Scantlebury as like maybe a 1 or a 2 or a 3 for sure. Same thing for Finnegan Sears. Finnegan Sears is probably a top 5. Sam Paul and Pandolfo is probably a top 10. Boganicki's probably a top 10. I don't think you're going to see these guys go that early, but they will most definitely be drafted. You look at just who was playing this in the showcase. Noah Servillis was player of the game. He had a couple goals, couple of assists. David Bosco, I guess, played USHL for Cedar Rapids last week. Had a lacrosse game on Friday or Saturday, and then played in the challenge on Sunday. So he had a pretty busy weekend. And there's these are guys that are probably going to be second or third round picks.
Right.
You're going to see Americans picked a lot higher now.
Yeah, like last year, the first American that Moncton took was Jacoby Weiner.
Yeah.
In the seventh round. Yeah.
So
which one of those guys, USHL, is on his team, right?
Yeah. There's
Bodnicki, or I believe Bodnicki plays for
Bodnicki was
recruiting.
Played for the U15s, mid field.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of connections. It wasn't just an 09 tournament. There was some 08s playing this game. So those are, second year eligibles. Yeah, we're really feeling old here.
Probably should put that on Rush.
But it's a good event, and the whole thing about the American. It's too bad the QMJHL American draft didn't come back, because you actually see some players that were playing the league. So I think it's great. It's good, more exposure, especially if they plan on expanding into the New England states here in the next few years. A showcase like this is really going to help.
And it'll be interesting to see, like we saw how much it affected the OHL, which I think it's of the 3 leagues is going to be affected the most. But now the WHL draft, I believe, is the first weekend of May. So smack dab in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
And again, those kids are 15 and they can't play for 2 years in the league unless they get exceptional status and or they get called up on emergency situations. So we'll see how the Americans factor into that draft before we get to ours. The other 3, all 4 series have now shifted to different cities. All 4 are now 2-0. We'll look at ours here in a little bit. But of the 3 so far, I guess just what are your thoughts on them? What are your thoughts? Because
you're both 2. They're all 4-0. They're all 2-0.
They're all 2-0.
So it's that's definitely a surprise. Rimouski's a hurting unit right now. Obviously, Spencer Gill's still out. Jack Martin's missed the first 2 games. Matthew Cataford missed the 2nd game. Lascelles hurt. They're bumped up right now. They're really bruising. So, but they were able to get that overtime win in game 2. So, I think that's. I think if Chicoutimi had that game, they probably could have made it a lot longer series than people were thinking. But no, they got a big goal there in overtime of game 2. Halifax, as much as they were fun to watch in the first round, I think they hit a brick wall. Steinman got hurt in game 2. I'm not sure of his condition, but come back against Rouen down 2-0 is going to be a tough task. And the other one, Shawinigan against Sherbrooke. For me, it was kind of a toss up, but Shawinigan's really pulled through the first 2 games. What they allow? 3 goals.
3 goals on 3 shots. Yeah, Mathis Fernandez.
When you allow 3 goals on 3 shots, you're probably not winning the game.
And he stayed in, too.
He stayed in, and they won the game, and they're up 2-0. And So that's it. I didn't expect all 4 series to be 2-0 at this point right now, which is going to make the next couple of games, next couple of days pretty fun.
Yeah, the Shawinigan was out shooting them 11-5, and also it was 11-5. So it wasn't. It was 3-3 when we saw it, but it was 3 goals on I think 3 shots or something like that. Like that's the series that I kind of thought of the 4 would be split before it went back. I mean, Shawinigan, like I said, I think they were before round 1. I said I think they were like 8-0-1, and they've continued to just roll kind of like Moncton. They're the second hottest team behind Moncton. So I thought that one would be a little bit closer, but again, it's going to Sherbrooke, which I mean they have a great barn and their fans are into it with the whiteout. I do believe they do. So that one, I think that one has the most capability to go at least 6. Halifax and Marin, Cinderella just can't find her slipper. Like she's not
going to the ball.
No, it's a lot different playing a team with their number 1 goaltender.
Yeah,
and no offense to that team because 20 of them had to work to beat Charest, but you're on small ice. It feels a lot like you said, I think on the live when Moncton got past Baie Comeau in 7, got the first one, and then just ran out of energy.
Yeah.
Or even in 2018 against Baie Comeau, got the 7, got that big win on the road, went to Halifax and was swept in 4. Yeah. So I feel for him. I hope Steinman's okay to play. Like I said, Chicoutimi's got the cheat zone of the largest ice, and Rimouski's got the cheat zone of the smallest ice. And against a team like that, against the team where you don't really score a lot, it's going to be a hard road to hoe. And it's really pulling for Chicoutimi to tie that series to at least extend that a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how long Catafour's out. I think that's they have the depth to overcome now. They loaded all the way up. They'll be fine. But again, from things you hear, it doesn't sound like it's a short-term injury. So, I mean, when you know you're going, if you're a guy like Catafour's injured and he's going to be out for say a month, shut him down. You can afford to shut him down because you know you're going to the Memorial Cup. So it's not a hurry up and rush him back.
Don't make it worse. Yeah. No, there's here. You're right. I mean, if he's out long term, there's no sense in rushing him back because you're guaranteed your spot. But
the Memorial Cup starts in a month and 10 days.
A month and 10 days. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he's out a month, what's the point? Just shut him down. Yeah. I don't even know what LaSalle is
he was supposed to miss the first round, but again, maybe they're just shutting him down. I mean, there's no rush to bring these players back. Spencer Gill's probably out until the beginning of the Memorial Cup.
Yeah.
But that's other than that, we don't know the status of these players and probably won't because if you tune in to the broadcast, they won't say anything, and it's pretty hush hush on social media right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a big difference when you have a safety net of you're going to the tournament. But it'll be interesting. These game 3s on tonight, Tuesday night, is big. And I mean, if you're Ren, if you can finish this off early and just kind of hang out, you're waiting for Moncton.
Yeah.
The way it falls.
I mean, that's the way it's looking like right now. Again, we don't want to look too far ahead, but let's look at it this way. Rouen wasn't challenged very much in the first round.
Yeah,
they're not being challenged very much so far in the second round. What's going to happen to them when they go into the third round? And they're against an opponent that's not even close to being what they faced in the first 2 rounds, right? It's we don't want to look ahead.
Yeah.
There's still 2 wins. There's still 2 wins to get before we even talk about the third round. But it could be a favorable matchup if you want to look at it that way for the Wildcats, but. I said, don't want to, it's not the third round yet.
That's right. We still gotta get 2 more wins, but it's either Rouen or it's Sherbrooke. That's the 2 opponents, because it goes to overall standings, which, funny enough, I hated forever until this year when I wanted not face Rimouski until the final. So you're guaranteed to go to the finals. I'm like, oh, good, we don't have to face them in the 3rd round. But again, Moncton, if they get there, will face the lowest seed, which is either Rouen or Sherbrooke comes back and beats Shawinigan. So I just love the fact that there's playoff hockey on almost every night. The WHL has
it's fun.
In round 3, the WHL has it every night. They started Thursday, Friday, Saturday. One of their series didn't even get going until Sunday, Monday. It continues on. I wish the Q had 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and alternated different nights. Or please, is it Dan McKenzie in the CHL, the commissioner?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, please, Dan McKenzie. Can we try and stagger times, like 1 at 7, 1 at 7:15, or 3 games at 7, 3 games at 7:15? I mean, I know there's probably not a lot of markets that watch all the games like we try to, but it is much nicer when you can stagger them and not all have them go to intermission at the same time. I think that's all I had for news. Anything else for news?
I don't think so.
We should probably talk about it. Yeah, let's do it.
Weekly Rewind.
All right, round 2 finally began. The Wildcats take a 2-0 series lead as the series shifts to Baie Comeau for games 3 and 4, potentially 5. They kicked off Friday, rest versus rust. Easily put to bed as the Cats were dominant all night. We played against Quebec, or we played against Baie Comeau like Quebec played against us. We took away their time. We took away their space. And honestly, that's the kind of game I thought we'd see in round 1, is just the Wildcats all over Quebec and a dominant victory.
Yeah, so that was pretty much like, your game 2 against Quebec.
Yep.
It was that kind of effort. That game 2 against Quebec probably would have been a more inflated score if it wasn't for Deneau. I think we got to Beckman. We had them moving. We had their team moving. They were causing turnovers. We made a joke to Drew Bear, like, how the Eagles not scoring this guy?
And his response, he's a good goalie. You guys just found his weakness. I was like, yeah, skill. But obviously, we had a really good night.
Yeah, it was a really good night. There's no way every game of the series was going to be 7-0. And it was just total domination. Desnoyers put on a show. We mentioned the GMs that were in the building on Friday night, which coincidentally was his birthday, along with Brent DeBourne. So they, Caleb put on a show, and those GMs are going to be
crawling over each other. Get him.
Yeah, he's making a case here to. Well, he's obviously going to be the highest NHL drafted Wildcat in history.
Yeah,
but it's a matter of where he's going to fit. I mean, there's some that have him as high as 3.
Can he go 1?
No,
I don't know about the Europeans and stuff like that.
With all respect,
I don't follow as much. So I don't know who the other guys are.
I mean, you're looking at Michael Misa. You're looking at James Haggins. And people are saying that maybe Desnoyers goes in. I've only seen one where he's in the 3 spot, but there's a lot where I have him kind of in that 2 to 10 range.
Who's Misa play with?
Saginaw.
All right, so they're out.
Yeah, so
that's what I mean. If he continues the trajectory he's on, and
so he could. I mean, I saw one list that had him as high as 3. But a safe bet would be between 5 and 7. Would be my kind of.
Yeah, I saw a prospect page for Misa, and like he's ranked 2nd, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 4th. So he's in that top 3 with them. But I mean, if bonus for us, if Caleb keeps going the way he's going, he's improving his draft stock and helping us. But yeah, they just. they could do no wrong. Like there was a point where Baie Comeau just couldn't get the puck in.
Yeah. It was really total domination, and I didn't see it, but it made my nerves a lot easier Friday night, knowing that it was out of reach pretty early.
Yeah, I think I saw like a 4-3-1, 4-1 with an empty netter style. Like, and we talked to people at the end after the post game stuff, and one person was like, Baie Comeau just came off a 7 game series against Cape Breton.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to Cape Breton, but there's a step up when you come to Moncton. And I think Moncton just caught him off guard.
Yeah,
the goal, a minute and 30 seconds in, you're already chasing the game. But once it got to 5-0, unlike the first round series, you didn't see Baie Comeau try to drag them in the mud. Mm-hmm. And like I said on the live, I don't think that's Baie Comeau's game. So they could have been a little out of it, trying to do too much of that kind of stuff when it's not really your game. But we didn't see a lot of the junk that we saw as early as game 1 in the Quebec series.
No, but I mean, when they're missing 2 of their top defensemen, that kind of avoids the whole, pushing and shoving after the whistle.
Yeah.
With the exception of Anthony Lavoie, I think they're a pretty young decor back there right now. So, these young guys don't want to be taking penalties and putting their team in trouble. But Sunday was a lot different story.
Yeah.
If you look up at us in the press booth, and I'm not sitting down, and I'm prancing back and forth, you know there's some stress.
You remember that time you just said it eases nerves for game 1? Those nerves came right on back for game 2.
The chair was put behind me.
Like off to the side.
Probably halfway through the game. Like I didn't sit down once, I think, in the third period. And I think the only time I sat down during the second intermission was just to take some weight off my legs. I was walking back and forth in the hallways, just trying to, chill out. But that's second round Jeremy. So for
those listening, if you're on the bench side, like the Wildcats and Baie Comeau bench side, and you want to just look up, that's how you know how the game's going. If you can find Jeremy either standing up or sitting down, that's how you know how the game's going. 4-1 victory to take a 2-0 series lead. It didn't have the same atmosphere in the building as game 1. Game 1, just absolutely freaking-tastic. I don't know if you're going to talk about it a little bit later.
There could be a mention.
Okay.
A mention of it.
Okay. 5,800 on Friday. Which I think Dave, friend of the show, Dave McKnight, had some stats on that. And then over 6,000 on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
58 for game 1, 27th best in Cats history, biggest since 2015, third best in crowd in game 1. Like the crowd was fired up. They were able to be fired up early, but game 2 was just a different crowd. And I don't know if people just were like, it's not going to be 7-0 every game. This one's going to be a little tighter. And once it took a while for Moncton to score, it was like, okay, we're in a different game. And we both knew that Baie Comeau was going to be better. They were better, but they're just running out of depth.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing three lines as much as they are, and we can afford the ability to run 4. Like game 1 with Binkley, Sampson, Kluche. Like that was one of the better lines in the second period.
They were doing their job.
Yeah, they got an offensive zone face-off, so literally it was go get that face-off, keep that puck in, let the other 3 lines rest. They did that. They got turnover. Sampson got a goal. They got more shifts in that game, I think, than they did a lot of the Quebec games because they got the trust in that. And that's the thing is we have a 4th line that Gardner can trust, and he's rolling that 4th line, and Gill and Pekarchek are just taking away Malofsky, and then you got Moran and McKinnon that are taking away the Boyard brothers. They're
shutting them down.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Their depth is running out right now.
Yeah, and it's only, you can almost sense that they're I don't want to say this, but maybe running out of gas a little bit.
Yeah.
It's, for them to, obviously that 5 OT game in Game 5 against the Eagles,
Mhm.
And then to have to play and then travel, and then play a Game 6 2 days later, and then get to Moncton and play a game Friday night. Like they seem gassed. They seem tired. I know they flew back to Baie Comeau right after the game, so they'll have time to rest up. But
Game 2, not Game 1.
Yeah, Game 2. They flew home after Baie Comeau. Flew back to Baie Comeau after Game 2. So so they're going to have tomorrow to rest, but they're probably going to have a practice tomorrow, and then they're back into it on Tuesday. So for a back-to-back. So we'll see if maybe Moncton can take advantage of what looks like a tired Drakkar team, even more so tired where, they were essentially playing 10 forwards. I think Aiden Kirkwood got one shift.
Yeah. Dwyer got one shift, maybe.
I don't even remember seeing Dwyer on the ice. So if you got one shift, you got one shift, but they were essentially playing 10 forwards. And I'm not sure if did they even dress Dwyer, or
I don't think so.
Because if not, then they had Aaron Murphy as a 7th defenseman, and I don't remember seeing Aaron Murphy get a shift. So they're realistically playing, with 10 forwards right now and 6 defensemen, and it's an inexperienced 6 defenseman. Yeah. So Moncton's clearly taking advantage of that, and it took a little while for them to not necessarily put the game away, but they had that late power play in the third period. And I turned to you and I said, it's 3-1. This is where your game breakers got to be game breakers, and they couldn't get anything going, so that didn't make my heart any better. But to the empty net goal obviously sealed it, and it was I'm not sure what I'm saying. I'm tired here, but
it's almost past his bedtime because we had to do this after the game and then after the Masters.
It's 20 after 9 right now on Monday, and at this time Sunday night Saturday night I was already in bed. So let's put it that way.
That goal, that power play when you're up 3-1, that's going to be a power play you're going to want to put a team away, especially when you get into the next round. And you're right. And I was like, yep, that's how this works, because we talked about it. And they're staying very disciplined against Baie Comeau right now.
Yep.
They had 2 penalties, and I think they came along with something. In the first game, they only had 1 penalty. There was a hook that should have been called. I know Tanner Dorian is somehow scared to call penalties. I don't understand why. Langell was calling everything, which is crazy. But it's just they're finding the right time to do everything. The goaltenders are they're just a wall back there. And I mean, there was one play coming out of the box where Baie Comeau tried to send on a breakaway, and Gill was just right there to stop it with his foot. Like, the defense is activating when it's time to activate. And you're right. I think they're just running out of gas, and unfortunately they're not going to get any reinforcements anytime soon. I don't think. I don't think Bernier or Allison's close. Bernier, I believe.
Bernier was apparently out for the entire playoffs. Yeah, so he's not coming back. Gilbert,
Bellin,
or Bellin was a healthy scratch. But Poirier, Gilbert. I mean, these are, Bernier and Gilbert would be huge additions on the back end, but not sure what their status is. So
but it's 70% in Game 3.
Yeah, is it worth it?
Yeah, and that series going back to Baie Comeau, it could very well come back 3-2 Moncton, and we're playing on Monday night, because that arena just will give them juice, and we saw it in the Cape Breton series. They hadn't lost to Cape Breton in 2 playoffs. That's a loud rink. That's a small rink. But like Dylan said on the post game, like, they're a very good road team. I think they lost 4 games all year. They set a franchise record with it. So it'll be interesting to see what we get. I think Game 2 was closer because they got the break. I think if they'd have played Thursday, Friday, I think they might have been the same style of games. Like game 2 would have been a lot like game 1 if they would have played. If we didn't have the concert and they would have had to play Friday, Saturday, I think that team is just gas. Like they need the rest, and I don't even know if they might just have an optional skate on Monday.
Yeah, that's true.
To just give them time off. But it's just nice to be able to say that since I moved here, this is the most playoff wins we've ever had.
You tell me that. It's like, wow, that's crazy.
Like the first run, the 2017 run, it would have been 2018, I guess. 4 against Rimouski, 0 against Plainville. The next year, 4 against Baie Comeau, none against Halifax. 2 years ago, 4 against Rimouski, 1 against Halifax, swept. Last year, swept. So 6 playoff wins is a record for me. Keep going. Don't stop at 6. Keep going. But it's a fun team to watch. And honestly, in this type of game, in game 2, I think playing tighter games against Quebec helped.
Oh, 100%. Like it's
like we didn't blow them out, so we weren't sure what to do in tight games. It made a massive difference, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to pay dividends. I mean, it's we're still getting all 4 lines are contributing. I don't think you can really ask for much more than that right now. And even the D is doing their job. You got Grenier who gets a power play goal, and still love that he's on the power play, even though he's third pairing guy.
Yes,
it just shows the kind of depth that's on this team, and
back-to-back goals.
Yeah, so he's on a little bit of a little tear here right now, which is nice to see, and it's just refreshing to be able to go to the rink and be able to watch this team when it's crazy to think they haven't lost a game in 2 months.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what more can you ask for?
Yeah. It's eventually going to come, and I think they're going to be ready to adjust to it, but they're getting tested in little ways without taking L's. And I think that's major for this group moving forward, that they're able to roll 4 lines and they're able to use experiences of tight games in the playoffs and still come away with W. So again, that's Tuesday tonight, game 3. Game 4 goes tomorrow. Selfishly, be real cool if they came back without Baie Comeau, because my family's here from Thursday to Thursday, so don't really want, and WrestleMania weekend, and I don't really want to take them to game 6s and 7s because I'll be a little tight if it goes to that far. So if Moncton could come back without Baie Comeau to help me out selfishly, be real cool. Are you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
Absolutely.
Eric Murray, Realtor. Buy a house from him. Stick Tap of the Week.
All right. So, I think we mentioned it last week about, I guess, the games in Quebec. The games at home against Quebec. How into it the fans were. And this is the second round. These 2 games have been a different breed.
Yeah.
So the fans have been bringing it. Ken Shea in his referee costume is amazing.
Can we get him 2 linesmen?
Yeah.
Like Moncton, Wildcats, whoever wants to dress up, give them tickets together.
Yeah.
Maybe near the penalty box, like those 3 seats near the penalty box, give them those seats together as 2 refs and a linesman. Or 1 ref and a linesman.
That would be unreal.
Yeah.
But it just the fans have been bringing it. I'm not sure if this was your honorary stick tap, but the Avenir production staff.
Nope.
No? Okay, perfect. So the production staff, we've been waiting for begging for this type of, the look-alike. Every rink does it, except for the Avenir Center. All of a sudden, it happens. A dance cam. All of a sudden, it happens. Right? The Rick, I know some people are loving it. I think it's absolutely amazing. The Ric Flair GIF.
The GIF helped out.
Yeah. But they didn't have the GIF Friday night.
No.
And it was just woo! Every time you turn around, and people were saying people people were wooing outside in the lobby of the Avenir Center. They were wooing outside, when they were leaving the rink. It's something that I want to see stay because and this is kind of like your precedent. Like if you're going to do this in the playoffs with lookalike cams and dance cams and gifts on the screens that fans can cheer on with, keep it going. Don't stop this. Keep it going into next season. It's going to make it a lot better atmosphere. One thing I would like to do is that the emoji face one, where you find someone in the crowd and you tell them to do the emoji.
Yep,
I like that. But I just think this is an atmosphere that we've been waiting for at the Avenir Center since the friggin' thing opened.
Yeah. These
are the games we wanted. We want to go on a run. We want these big crowds. Sunday, 6,000. That's your line now.
Yeah.
Right. So any home game from now on, it's got to be more than 6,000 people.
And I don't even think that the Sunday gave it that much extra.
No. The Friday night was still the better atmosphere.
It was 58. Maybe the Sunday 4:00. I guess it's only 200 people. That might have helped out.
I think the drunks behind the net on Friday night kind of helped a little bit.
Yeah.
One thing I'm going to point this out though. Don't start the wave.
Oh my God!
Unless the game is
7-0.
7-0. Because what happened on Sunday?
Yeah, you got away with it Friday.
Baie Comeau literally scored when the wave was going on behind the net. Yeah. So it looked like there was hundreds of Baie Comeau fans.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Call your shots, pick your spots. Don't start the wave when the game is close.
And I don't know if it's Wild Willie who's starting it, but if it is, third period, 4-goal lead only.
Yeah. Don't start the wave. Don't play no, hey, goodbye.
I didn't hate that. I didn't hate that.
The series is 2-0.
Yeah.
Cut that stuff out. The other stuff is great. Keep it going.
You found the fireworks?
Fireworks, I'm good with.
Okay.
Totally caught me off guard.
Yeah. Totally caught everyone.
Had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Like the fireworks.
Too many. For me, game 1, win. Game 2, a little bit more.
Yeah.
I know you may not have a series win if everything goes right here, but I was like, oh, fireworks for round 2, game 1?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's different. I would have waited, but it's new. That's something that doesn't have to come next season.
I like it.
Yeah.
Fireworks, regular season, don't need them. Playoffs, I'm good with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6,000, that's your line now.
They're averaging 56.81. So 22,000 in 4 games.
Yeah, there's nowhere else up now, but there's nowhere to go up but up now.
Yeah.
If we can go on a run here, maybe we can get 8,000. But whatever you're doing,
I think you get to the finals. I think you're going to see it end.
So whatever the fans keep bringing it, Avenir Center keep bringing it.
Security keep letting horns come in.
Yeah, horns, noisemakers, whatever you can do. Ric Flair gift can stay. That's the stick tap.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
Yeah, I don't love the woos all the time, but you know what? I've heard the players love it, so that's our thing.
Yeah, keep it.
Yep, keep it. And sing-along songs, play them when there's the media timeout, when there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a sing-along song, and they drop the puck just before it happens. So, Sweet Caroline, Country Roads, Living on a Prayer.
All the small things.
Yeah, Living on a Prayer. Those are your 4 main. Those are your 4 main ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your 4. We'll figure out 2 more for the 6 stoppages in the game.
That's right.
That's where we are. All right. That brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary, Lynns Massage and Spa. Teeth whitening is now available and booking starting at $85. That gets you 3 15-minute sessions. included in your service price. Add another 15 minutes for only $20. That's exciting. As well, don't forget they have the loyalty card. Buy 9 spa services and get 1 free. Call them at 506-830-1224 or stop in at Mountain Road as they're accepting new clients. Thank God there was no overtime hero, so I didn't have to worry about that this week. But, I mean, he's, I think, with his goals, let me just fact check this myself. He might be leading the playoffs in points. He's tied for the lead in playoff points with 13 with another goal and an assist tonight. He scored in 4 of the 6 games we've played so far. He's had a point in every game. He's had multiple points in 5 of 6. He's just, that line is just rolling out, putting points on the board. So your Wildcats Wildcat of the week is number 18, Caleb Denway. We got through it, Jeremy.
Yes.
We got through a Sunday night record for a Tuesday episode. So, yeah, there is a watch party at the Sports Rock North location. Let's get to a point where there's 2 of them.
It's gonna get to that point.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to probably open up the Dieppe location.
Yeah.
Because they were turning people away.
Yeah.
And at the North End location there in the Quebec series. So we're probably gonna get to that too. We'll have to open up the application and eventually, fingers crossed, we get some nice weather.
Yeah.
We can maybe have outdoor viewing parties at the Oval at the end of the year.
I was just gonna say, if we get that nice weather and get into some May hockey, I think a nice inflatable screen, a barbecue outside,
Beer garden.
I know that SMG doesn't even like to do things for the Wildcats inside the building, let alone outside. But I think if the Wildcats put that out there, I think you will get. We've already seen people asking because
100%.
They go to the Sports Rock and they get turned away, and there's no North location, so. I don't think they need to bring it inside on the big screen and everything like they did with the Raptors a couple of years ago. I always thought they could put it in the Lounsbury Lounge, but you won't get a lot of people. Outside, nice weather. If we play some May hockey with the beer gardens, whatever, find a sponsor to sponsor it if you need to. 5 Bridges might. They got some connections to some players on the team, right? Mm-hmm. They're pretty big. Greenfoot. Greenfoot could be one. We don't have the funds, but we'd love it. We're bringing the idea to you. But an outdoor viewing party, I think, would be absolutely sick. Kind of, like this Calgary and Edmonton with those outdoor. I don't think we'll get to the point where they're inside the building playing hockey and it's sold out and they're watching outside. But those kind of viewing parties are something that need to happen. So again, they're slowly getting there, and you can see the city is getting behind this. And if they get through Baie Comeau, round 3, the city's just going to explode. And we get deep May hockey. Let's go. So again, Sports Rock North locations, Tuesday, Wednesday, potentially Friday. But yeah, that's all I got. Have a happy Easter, man.
Ribbit. That's a frog.
Bunnies don't really make noise, but so we'll go with a frog. First time I'm going to spend Easter with my family since I moved here, so that's exciting.
Crazy. Yeah. And
I don't know when the show will happen next week due to the holiday, due to potential game 6s and 7s. So hey, subscribe. Yeah, WrestleMania. We won't get into WrestleMania. Subscribe, click the bell. You don't want to miss anything. For Jeremy, I'm Adam. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.